Hi everybody, it's Cricket from Woolly Cricket. And Woolly Cricket is where you can find me on all the interwebs like Ravelry, YouTube. I'm Woolly Cricket on YouTube now, Instagram, Pinterest, Twitter, which is now X, I guess. I think that's all I'm on. Tumblr, I think, but I don't use it very much. Having a lot of fun trying to learn Instagram. I'm mostly on YouTube and Ravelry. I'm not on Ravelry as much as I used to be. It it got too political, and I just wanted to stay out of the middle of that just a little bit. I respect anybody's opinion. Your opinion you're entitled to, and that's as far as we're going to go with politics on this channel. I don't, and I'm not going to. Just like I told you on the first one, I'm not going to criticize a pattern of anybody's because it's hard to make a pattern, as well I know, and they put a lot of work in. If I ask anything or think anything's wrong with it, then I will discuss that with the person that wrote the pattern instead of trying to degrade them in front of a bunch of people. So enough of the negative stuff. How is everyone? It's October. October is one of my best favorite months out of the year. It's getting commercial, but I still love it because the little kids get to come around, they trick or treat, and they're so fun. They love to dress up and play. We get some big kids too, but they still dress up, so it's okay. It's a lot of fun. Okay, let's get into what I'm looking over here. What I'm working on, and this is, of course, it's a dog sweater right now because this is my crazy time of year. And I will show you if I'm working on one, I will show you my progress, and then the dog sweaters will be really quick at the end of what I've made for the week. So if you want to see that, then you can. If you don't want to see that, sorry, my nose is itching. I've been in the alpaca. If you don't want to see it, then you don't have to stay for that. But this is going to be a medium, and it's in the gray. The color is, got to put my eyes on, Oxford Gray, Line Brand Yarn, Pound of Love. So that's my, sorry, that alpaca itches so bad. That's my only work in progress. So throw it in the floor. That's where it belongs right now, in the floor, so I can pick it up in a little bit and do all the housekeeping. Okay, I have a finished object, and I made this last year before last, and it is the alpaca. I adore this. The only thing I don't like is it wants to twist around. I try to keep the line. I guess you can see that. Maybe I'll show you up close when I find it again. Okay, here it is. Okay, show you guys. See where the line right there. I can't see what I'm doing, so I'm hoping I'm pointing to the right thing. Where you twist and change your yarn. You know, I used to think it was funny when people were video and recording, and they'd say, I got mohair or alpaca fluff. Yeah, I understand now. Bewitched. I do the bewitched thing. Try to not scratch my nose through this whole process. But these are just colors that I had extras of, just a ball, and I didn't know what I was going to do with it. So what I did was, I don't even know where I started. Hey, I must have got good at grafting. I started to say Kitchener, but it's grafting. Okay, we'll just pretend I started with the purple and the gray. So I did the purple and the gray, and then I kept using the purple and went to the green and purple. And then I went from the green and purple to the green and gold. So I'm not even sure if you could see that. Was I over here? Could you see it over there? Okay. Let's just put it in front of me so you can see. So what I did was I picked up two colors, and I started with half of the skein. And I would use all of the gray and do half of the charcoal and add the purple halfway through. So then I would use all the purple, and the other half of the gray would be gone. So I added in the next color, and that would be green. And my next two would be all the green and add in the gold. And then the rest of the gold in with an orange, the rest of the orange in with this sort of a robin's egg color. And then the robin's egg would go back to the charcoal. So if you have little skeins of yarn that you don't really know what you want to do with them, this is a good option. And it's, I'll take my glasses off because I throw these things everywhere. You wouldn't believe the places I've lost those glasses. And they're just the cheap readers because I had LASIKs years ago and I can see really far off now, but I still need the readers up close. So I just buy those little cheapy glasses. So this is fantastic for, get my hair out from it. And it's not too bad itchy. So it's fantastic if you just want to lay it like this and then put your jacket over it. You can do that, which is fine. You can, of course, you can always choke yourself and double it. We'll try it. Double it. I don't know how that looks, so you guys will have to tell me if I got it folded. All right, so that's doubled. And if you don't like it doubled, which I probably wouldn't wear it doubled. Hair. Okay, let's try this. Then I would probably, I don't know if I'd twist it or not, but maybe. We'll try it twisted. So I twist it and put it over my head when the wind's blowing. And your jacket or whatever will keep that on. So it's about the right size for anything like that. I love this thing. It's a lot of fun to wear. And it keeps me really warm. So let's take it off and straighten my hair out if I can. Is it frizzed up? Is it all over the place? Okay. You just have to call me Fuzzy Head today. But that's my only finished object that's not a dog sweater. So that's all the finished objects. My only work. I only have one work in progress. Sorry, can't play with my hair. Try to get it. Feels funny now. It's static. Other than the things that you normally say. You've seen the blankets, the 2 blankets that I've got to work on. And the socks I've not put any time on, so there's no sense in showing you that. So that's 3 works in progress. And then the dog sweater is 4. So I'm back down under my 5. Yay, I did good. I got under my 5. Okay, put my glasses back on top of my head. So I was talking about losing my glasses, so I'll tell you a funny thing. I've done a lot of funny things. Here lately, especially. I was mowing the yard, and we have a tree. And every now and then the tree has gotten, the branches have gotten low enough that when I walk under it, it hits me in the top of the head. And I was mowing the yard. And all of a sudden, my glasses are gone. Well, I am getting to that age that I forget things a little bit. And I was doing this, and my glasses were gone. I thought, I think I knocked them off when I went under the tree. So I looked in the yard and couldn't find them. Called my son because I had been over there mowing his yard because he was working. And I said, when you get home, look and see if I laid my glasses on your kitchen counter. He called. My glasses were not on the kitchen counter. So I'm like, okay, I've got a box of 3, so I'll get another pair out. I don't know where I left them, but they'll turn up. Mowed the yard again. Didn't find them. So I'd forgot about them. The other day when I was mowing the yard, probably for the last time of the season, I was mowing, went right over them and looked down, and there's my glasses. And I know that everybody in the family looked in that yard for those glasses. We couldn't find them, but they showed up after the second or third mowing, so they're scratched up just a little bit, but they'll be a good emergency pair if I break some and I don't have one in case I need to read something. And I washed them. You know how I washed them? I put them in the dishwasher. They're plastic glasses. It didn't hurt them, so I put them in the dishwasher. Okay, hope everyone's having a great fall time, and I'm going to swing the chair again. I'm going to have to get me a chair that doesn't swivel or lock this one or something so I don't make you guys seasick doing that. and talking with my hands. This is going to be something that I do all the time. I talk with my hands and I swivel my chair. Okay. I was just trying to think if there's anything else that I needed to tell you. Oh, my son made me a rose. I'll get it. I'll get it, get it, get it. Here. It's a 3D printed black rose for Halloween. Isn't that cool? He loves his 3D printer. As a matter of fact, he designed one. It's amazing, the intelligence level of that child. And the funny thing is, ever since he was a little bitty kid, he's always thought that he was not as smart as everybody else. But yet he builds a 3D printer and does things like this. And he built what they call a sim chair. You guys out there might know more about it than I do. But he built his own sim chair. And he has the racing games and things like that he plays on it. And it really shakes like you're going over the ground. And it has a steering wheel and the pedals. Does that sound like somebody that's not intelligent? No. But I'm his mother, so he tells me, well, you just tell me that because you're supposed to. You're my mom. And I'm like, well, no, I'm really pretty brutally honest with you, but I've taken that approach with him ever since he was a little boy. You just have to sometimes be honest with him. That's usually the best bet. So, okay, let's get into what I want to knit. Okay, I'm looking for 2 patterns. Ideas, I'd love to hear your ideas if you've got any. I want something that has a lot of color work, a lot of colors. But I don't want something that looks like your grandmother wore it. Okay, they're beautiful, but it's not my style. It's not my taste. And you can see I'm in my pumpkin orange long sleeve shirt, and I have my, I don't know if you can see it, my strapped pants to go with it. I am embracing the fall. But the sweater I'm looking for is not one that has like the bands of 2 colors of this with this design and then another band with 2 colors or 3 colors with that design. I don't want something like that. I would like something that, in my opinion, changed and flowed a little better. I don't want bands. I want something that just transitions from one color to the next. So that's going to be something that may be complicated to find. Or I may have to just sit down and design one and do it. Maybe just the same pattern repeat, but changing colors. That's an idea. And I wanted to ask everybody if you've ever heard of a shoulderette. Of course, this is an old people's term, because I'm an old people and I can use it. But a shoulderette is like a scarf, a really long scarf that's got a slit. It opens up like this, like that. And you have a cuff, and it's like a sleeve to about here. And then all this is open, and you pull it on like a wrap. And you can put a collar on it if you'd like, but the only downfall about putting a collar on it is if you don't put a collar on it and you just want to wear it as a scarf, then you can just put it on like a regular scarf. It'll just have the rib on both ends, but that's okay. It looks really cute that way as well. But they used to be called shoulderettes. I'm not sure what they're calling them now. If you know, put it in the comments below. But we called them a shoulderette. And I want to make a shoulderette. I've not had one in a long time. It's fantastic for when it's cool and you don't really need a big coat. You don't want a big bulky sweater to wear or jumper, depending on where you are and what you call them. But you just want something that's almost like a little jacket, like a wrap. And I don't wear shawls. They fall off. I want something that's a little more attached. So a shoulderette it is, and that may be something that I start working on for the next program and give you some little swatches, some ideas, and see what you think about the colors. Okay, now let's get into, since we've talked about that, acquisitions. Everybody knows that I love my Holst garn, and since it's Halloween, pumpkin season, this is my cone. It's 500 yards. I think they're like 13 or 14 or 500 grams, 13 to 1600 yards. And this color is burnt orange. Who would have thought? Most of the colors are not what they look like, but this one actually is. So it's burnt orange, and that might be a good color to put in the shoulder. What's your opinion? What do you think? I don't think it'll go with the colors I have, but the other acquisitions that I have. But when I bought that, it was $26. I think they're $32 a cone now, which is still an amazing price for 500 grams. Okay, my husband bought me this. And I can't say that. Brediculu. Is that an S? Breadalicious hand-dyed yarns. It's an Addy sock fingering weight 4-ply, 75-25, 463 yards, and the colorway is called. Sorry, I don't. Can you hear that motorcycle outside? Witch's Brew. And there's the label of the company. I've got 3 skeins of that. My husband got me that. Witch's Brew. They only had 3, or he probably would have gotten more. But I will find something that will go with that. And I don't know what it's going to be yet. But since it's the fall season and it's October, we're going to do witchy stuff. So that's Witch's Brew. Now, this one is from Yarnatoli. I got a 2-ply, and this one is a one's a lace and one's a fingering. And this is also called Witch's Brew. It's Jen's at Yarnatoli. Her email and her website is on this label. I will show you that. And this is also called Witch's Brew, so I might have to have a sweater of all the Witch's Brews. If I can. Can you see that one? Can you see the name Witch's Brew? She was doing a live on YouTube, and she was showing us her yarn, and she said if anybody wants any of this, let her know. And she showed me Witch's Brew, and I was like, yes please, I want that. So she packed that up sweetly for me after that and sent it to me. So I will link her shop below. As far as I know, she is doing some amazing things. I think some of it's under wraps, but she's so excited and she works very hard. So we will link her stuff below and check her out. And the other Witch's Brew I got at the Loopy U when they were in Fort Collins, and now they're in Loveland. So I'm not sure. I've not been but once since she moved, and I'm not sure they're still carrying that yarn. They are carrying this though. And Woolmize, I've heard it said Woolmize and Woolmiza, and this is Pinball Wizard. So it's not actually a Halloween name, but it is definitely a Halloween color. So this is going to be something very cute. And let's see, it's Merino Superwash. 383 yards. So it looks like to be it doesn't look to be a lace, it's a light fingering, I'm thinking. I have some lace Woolmizer over there. I hoard it, people. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to tell you about the hoarding of the yarn. I do know other podcasters that are hoarders of yarn as well. And I really need to use this, or share it, for that matter. And I don't mind sharing, but I don't have any knitting friends that are close that I can let them come shop in Woolly Cricket's store. My 1-bedroom store, Woolly Cricket store. But yeah, I have tons, and I probably will never knit all this. But I love my yarn. It's my sanctuary to come in here and just, when you're having a bad day, it is fantastic to just be able to go in, sit down, look at your yarn, pull it off the shelf if you want to, play with it, dream about what you're going to make out of it. And just, I mean, you can get lost in that and be in your area or your bedroom or wherever you put your yarn. I started to say hide your yarn. A lot of people hide their yarn. But it eases the tension and it makes everything a lot better, because that's, as knitters and crocheters and fiber people, that's what we love. Spinners, I'm learning, but I'm not as excited about that because I'm not great at it. I'm not terrible, but I'm not great. And as Mandy tells me a lot, that I don't do well on things that I don't do well. And she's probably right. I don't like to fail. I don't like to make mistakes. I'm a little bit bratty about things like that. And for those that need to know, yes, I was an only child for a long time. And yes, I was bratty. And yes, I know that. So I'm not as bratty as I used to be. A lot more not as bratty. That didn't make sense, but you know what I mean. Okay, now, let's see, do I need to tell you anything else? Is there anything else in this room that you need to know right now? Not that I can think of. We will do a crochet along if you'd like, or a knit along if you'd prefer, or a make along if you want to do both, or needlepoint, or quilting, or whatever you would like, whatever you make, I would love to see. So the other sweater. Now let's get to the second sweater, because I've told you about the color work. I'm looking for a cable sweater. I don't mind if it's all over cable. I don't mind if it's just a yoke cable. And I'm thinking that most every cabled sweater that I am drawn to is more in the basic, just natural undyed. But I don't want to do it in superwash, because I've read and heard other YouTubers talking about when they knit something in superwash, that it grows, it stretches. That might be something that I would actually like, because I don't mind my sweaters being extremely oversized. That's sort of my thing. I guess if I wore something that fit, everybody would be shocked. So, yes, and speaking of fit, the boar sweater has had no love. When I get that bottom rib done, before I bind it off, I'm going to try it on and let you guys see what your opinion is of it, because I may frog it. It's a lot of work, but I may frog it and use that yarn for something else, because it's a pretty color. I don't know if it will look good with my gray hair, but see my witchy poo hair? See, it's getting long. I'm going to let it grow till it hits the floor. Probably not, but I don't mind letting it grow. It's the first time it's been long since I was like 10, 12, 13 years old. I don't know. I'm old and I don't remember those dates like I used to. Okay, other things. I filled out the paperwork today for my retirement, my Social Security retirement. If any of you are about to do that, get you a cup of coffee, block off 2 or 3 hours time, because it takes a while. And sometimes the computer is not your best friend when you're doing something like that, because it's complicated. A lot of questions, a lot of crazy questions. Some of them I don't even remember. They were like, what is the exact day of the last time you worked? And I'm like, excuse me, I work every day. But it's not work that they consider work, because I consider this my work. It's not really my work, but it is my work. And it's not a 9 to 5 like they were asking me about. So we put all that information in, and they said they would let me know. So who knows? I did talk to an accountant and a counselor about income. And this is not political. This is just a customer service review of my own. That the gentleman told me, he said, when you can take your retirement at 62, and then it's 65, and then it's 70, I believe, and they may be trying to change that to 72. But his advice was, with the way the economy is and the way the world is going, that if you can, to go ahead and start it at 72 or 62. I'm sorry, 62. And I was like, I get more money if I started at 65 or 70 or 72. And he brought up a good point. He said, how many people do you know that have passed since or before they turned 65 or before they turned 70? And he said, that money, not all of it goes to your loved ones. So I'm going to just get it, put it in a savings account, and leave it alone. I mean, I don't need it right now, but it's going to be nice to have a little nest egg in case I need it later. And falling out of my chair, it sort of runs downhill, I think. It's a brand new chair. Maybe I put it together wrong. That could be it. It could be me. Probably is me. Okay. Hi, Miss McGovern. Miss McGovern calls me and she'll say, I'm going to call you. I'm like, okay. She said, I want a dog sweater for my dog. I'm like, okay. I made her a custom one several years ago. And she'll call me every 2 or 3 months and say, I'm going to call you with measurements. I say, okay, that would be great. And then I don't hear from her for about 2 or 3 months. And then I'll get another phone call, and it'll be her on my phone. She'll leave a message. Or if I'm home, I answer it, and she'll say, I'm going to get you measurements. I want you to make me a sweater. I'm like, I would love to do that. So we have gotten to, she wants a superwash wool. I think she has either greyhounds or whippets. I don't know what she has right now, but it's long, something with a really long neck. So she wants an ivory color superwash wool. So I'm not going to order the yarn until she calls back. She's supposed to call today with her measurements, and I'll get her a price, and then we'll go from there. But I'm not really expecting her to call. I'll talk to her in about 2 or 3 months. So all the sweaters that I might consider, if I can find something, I will link and put the pictures up on one side or the other. I don't know which side it'll go on, but I'll put them up. And any questions that you have, ask. I'll be glad to answer. And are you excited about autumn? Are you excited about the cooler weather? Are you getting any cooler weather? We are a little bit. It's in the 70s now, and sometimes 30s and 40s at night, which is pretty much perfect for me. I love that temperature. If I could find a place to live that was 70s during the day and 30s and 40s at night, I would be there all the time. Okay, I think I have nothing in my little basket. Oh, I wanted to show you too. Getting smarter. See my basket? It has the little threads where they sew this rope thing together. And this is the needles that I normally use on my dog sweaters. So instead of just sticking them down in the basket and having to dig them out every time I needed them, I run them through the threads, and then I can just pull them out when I need them. And they're right there in plain sight. Sometimes I have good ideas, and I will share them with you. But that was a good idea. I went, oh, that's fantastic. It's just right there. So I don't have to worry about finding it. Okay, I'm rambling. Sorry. I missed you guys every week. It's like talking to my friends. My new friends and some old friends. And if I didn't say it, welcome to anybody that's new. Welcome back to anybody that's watching and staying with me. I do appreciate you guys more than you know. Okay, last week, I think it was last week or week before, I had started the hot pink sweater. It's gone. The lady, it went in the mail today. I did take a picture and I will insert it. So it's finished. I had started it in the baby pink one. So here's the baby pink. It's finished. It's an extra large. The hot pink one was a 4 extra large. Big doggy. And then I've done this one. It's a navy blue and it's a large in navy blue. And then this one is a medium, and I don't really have a color for this yet. We've about decided that it looks more silver than it does gray. The gray is a little darker, so this one looks a little silver, so it may be listed as silver. So that is a medium in silver, and that's those are the 4 dog sweaters that I finished this past from Tuesday to Tuesday. Oh, and this is Tuesday, the October the 10th, 2023. Let's see. I can't really think of anything else. If you want to see some of the yarns that I have, just yell and I'll show you. If you have a particular kind that you like, yell at me. I'll show you what I have, and I don't know, we may send some packages out. I guess that's pretty much it. Can't think of anything else other than thank you again. Oh, I've got one more thing I want to try. I'm going to run it by you guys. I'm rocking. I get so uneasy trying to talk. And if I'm not sure of myself, then I'll wiggle. Okay, I want to paint with watercolors. I know, that's a big jump off of what I want to do. And I don't draw extremely well. I took classes. If any of you know those highlight magazines that you used to get at the doctor's offices that would have the little draw me pictures, there was a pirate and a turtle and some other things. And I used to go to the doctor's office a lot when I was a child. I was premature and had some issues they needed to work through, but I'm fine now. But I drew those pictures of the pirates and the turtles and stuff, and my mother sent them in. And then I got a letter from Minneapolis, I think it was, and it was called the Draw Me School, and they had claims that they had students that had went on to work at Disney. So my parents signed me up. They sent this great big box with all my art supplies, which I was a kid. I didn't know anything about what I was getting. I get into that a lot myself. Maybe I started it with my parents, but they would give you a lesson plan of, it had everything: paints, charcoals, just regular drawing pencils. Didn't have watercolors though, but had the others pretty much. And I think it had some pastels or colored pencils or something like that. But you would get a lesson plan, and they would show you a picture of what you were supposed to do. And I remember one of them was a barn, and you drew that and read the text and implemented what they had said and tried to copy the barn. And then you'd put it in an envelope. This is before the computers was a really popular thing. And you would mail it off. And then you would sit by the mailbox and wait and wait and wait for them to send your packet back. And they would send it back, and they'd have little red marks on it that said, change this, do this, this is okay, or, you know, whatever you needed to work on, they would put notes on it. So you would do it again and change what you could change. Put it back in the big envelope, mail it off, and then wait again. Okay, I'm 10, 12 years old. There's only so much waiting at the mailbox that a 10 or 12-year-old's going to do. Didn't have the attention span to finish that. I think now that it would be good because you could do all the correspondence and send the pictures and the lessons online, and it would be more instant. And we as a culture need instant gratification. And that was even true way back when I was old, dinosaur days. So I never did water. I was going through the watercoloring with this. What I do draw, and I would love to do realistic paintings and drawings of people, animals, things like that. I'm not much into trees and flowers, but that seems to be what all watercolorists want to do. And everything I do when I draw, in my head, it looks like a person. Say I was drawing one of you, and in my head, it would look like you. On my paper, it would look like you, but it would be more like a cartoon. And I've had instructors tell me that that's not a bad thing, but it's not what I want. So I did it like I do most everything else. We're going back to Mindy. If I'm not good at it, then I don't want to do it. And I don't like to have to practice. Of course, I'm getting older, and I've learned that I have to pick up paper and pencil and pen and whatever else and practice. The more practice you do, the better they say you'll get. Someday, I will pull some out and let you see some of my drawings and stuff. But I hope you like cartoons, because they are pretty cartoony. That could be a good thing, I guess. I used to want to do characters of, one day when I was younger, I thought I could do a business and do characters of, say, my dentist. He sends out those little cards. It's time for your visit. It's been 6 months or whatever. And I thought, what if I did characters of him and everybody in his office? And he could buy my cards instead of the generic cards that he's getting. And, that may still be a thing if I ever get good enough to actually do that and it looked like them, more like them. But, okay, I'm rambling because I've been here a lot this week by myself, so when I get a captive audience, then I tend to just ramble and talk forever. I did that at the grocery store today. I stopped and talked to two ladies I didn't even know. They were very sweet, and they seemed to be wanting to talk as well, so of course they started it, but I don't mind finishing it. I never meet a stranger. I hope you guys know that. I don't want you to be strangers. You're getting to know me through this, and I'd love to get to know you guys more. So I'm going to say goodbye now, I think. Oh, I did show you the dog sweaters. Okay. Dog sweater segment, we're going to be really quick because there's a lot of those. And I will see you next Wednesday. Bye.